Okay, this is actually a video that I've been meaning to do for a while as well. I mentioned it in my previous video. Came out not too long ago, or probably a couple days. This is a series that I've been trying to do for a while now. I've kind of like in my previous video mentioned. It's like I try to like figure out a style to do it. If I wanted to do like some sort of sketch about it or something like oh my god, my Bionicle's gonna kill me, oh! Or it's my destiny to do this for some reason, even though like 1,000 or 1,000,000 other channels have done the same thing talking about Marvel movies because Marvel movies are popular. So, sorry, I'm just looking at the okay. So I'm recording. Okay, I'm recording audio. That's good. But anyway, here's kind of just my 2 cents. Here's just me throwing my 2 cents at the Phase 1 debacle. I mean, I can mainly just follow the same steps as other people have said. Maybe not. I don't know. But let's start talking about. Sorry, I got my notes like down here, but okay. Let's talk about Iron Man. It's the one that started it all for this universe. Like, yeah, I know. There's other Marvel movies that came out like previously, like the Sam Raimi Spider-Man, Blade, the terrible like Captain America movie, the whole TV show, and all those other things that came out beforehand. But I'm mainly really gonna just talk about this universe because it says in the title, Phase 1. Iron Man, it's basically the blueprint for every other origin movie that has come out for the Marvel Cinematic Universe, which isn't a bad thing. It's still a good movie. When I recently just watched it, rewatched it actually, it was pretty enjoyable still. Robert Downey Jr. is great in the role. What's his name? The dude himself. I don't know. His name's not flowing in my head right now. And my mouth can't really speak as well. But Obadiah, right? His name was Obadiah. He did an okay job. I mean, he did, like other people have mentioned, he does go to this like, I'm just a businessman and all that. Like I care for Tony, and all of a sudden he just bam, evil. He wants to kill Tony. Also, what else? I don't know. It's still like it's a pretty standard Marvel movie, and it did start the whole thing out, and it's still an enjoyable movie. Like even just the practical effects they used for the Iron Man suit actually still hold out very well, and blend really well with the whole CGI around it, because there is CGI in it, but again, it still works mainly because of the practical effects. Which brings me to the Incredible Hulk when we talk about CGI. The CGI for the Hulk is okay. I mean, maybe even for the time it was still okay, but for the most part, I mean, it looks rough compared to like the most recent like Hulks. But I mean, I can't blame it. It came out like 2009, 2010. But I mean, I do find it to be one of the more underrated movies from the Marvel catalog. I know it's kind of like under Universal's umbrella, really. Like they don't want to make another one because, according to Mark Ruffalo himself, the Hulk, he said they don't want to play nice with Marvel, which is kind of a dumb idea. You have this big opportunity to make money, just like Sony did with Spider-Man: Homecoming, and you're like saying, "Oh no, we don't want to do it. We don't want to do it. We don't want to have a coherent sentence here for this example." No, but no, I do find it to be the most underrated one. Like Edward Norton really does a good job playing. He does a really good job playing Bruce Banner. He does give it his all with the performance. Like he really gets into it. He does have some good chemistry with the other girl. I forgot her name, but she's the colonel, or the colonel's daughter, which kind of like there's like a brief like origin story-ish scene in the beginning, which is, this is actually one of the few like origin stories that kind of is different. kind of is a little different from the Iron Man formula. Like, around that time, it wasn't really established. Like, this is how we're gonna really kind of take care of all these origin stories. Then again, I mean, the comic books kind of maybe had it like that. I don't know. I don't read comic books because I'm only half a nerd. I mean, I collect Lego sets, but shut up. No. But no, like I said, I've already said this 3 times, I guess. He did a good job. The villain, I don't know. His name also kind of just slips my mind too. But he was in Lie to Me, and I really enjoyed that show. He did a good job as well. He was a very fun villain, and it did also kind of, I guess, like I was talking about the whole formula thing. It does kind of throw back to this whole the hero fights a version of himself, because the villain's kind of just his name's Abomination. But yeah, the Hulk, kind of a little underrated compared to all the other Marvel movies. Not the best, certainly not the worst. I mean, that's usually how people point out. It's like, it's no good. He's no good. Okay, so my camera just ran out of space, so I had to take care of some stuff. I mean, I could just cut that out, but I'm just gonna give you guys this useless information while I'm giving you more useless information, I guess. But going back to Iron Man 2, it's it was kind of a drag, like I said. The villain was kind of he just wanted his bird the whole time. He's like, "I want my bird, my bird. I want my bird, my bird. I want it. Give me my bird." But yeah, he was kind of just there. I don't know if I really want to say he's not really as much like Tony, like let's say Obadiah was comparatively like villain hero. I mean, he does have a suit at the end, but it's not that that obvious in my opinion, or it's not that strongly implemented as well. I mean, he's a genius, but he's not really that charismatic, which is a problem I know that a lot of Marvel villains have. But he wasn't that good of a villain, and I don't blame it on the actor himself. But I'm having trouble remembering the names of these people. Mickey Rourke, yeah. Mickey Rourke, that's his name. At least I remember somebody. Jeff Bridges, that was the other one. How do I not know the dude? His name is Jeff Bridges. Come on, El Duderino. Yeah, it's a movie that drags. It's villain's okay. The other guy was actually better villain, or very a lot more charismatic. And Rhodey. Oh yeah, Rhodey. I meant to also mention in Iron Man 1, there was a different Rhodey, and then there's this Rhodey. I do think that he's a better Rhodey than the other guy was. Better chemistry with Tony. And it actually kind of just blended well, actually, in my opinion. Like there's an obvious physical, like, difference between the other Rhodey and this Rhodey. Like, the other Rhodey's, like, a lot thicker, and then this one's thick. Then the new Rhodey was kind of a smaller frame guy. But he does a good job at it. I do like Rhodey. There's this part I do remember with the strawberries where this is like Hispanic guy saying, "We believe in you, senor!" I like that part for like some reason. Oh god, I just spit everywhere. But overall, it's not a movie I'd like to go back to multiple times. But if I had a Blu-ray for it, I mean, I would just have it as a means of collecting the whole series, which actually, I don't have any of the Phase 1 Blu-rays. I only have from Winter Soldier to Thor Ragnarok, and then I'm gonna get Black Panther eventually, but those are the only ones I have. Just because I didn't start really getting into it until like the Winter Soldier came out. And I mean, I did watch the Avengers around that time, but it was like, oh, this is a good movie. And then afterwards, I just started watching them. I'm like, oh, these are really good. Like, these are really fun and good. They're coherent in their like universe, or as coherent. Speaking of coherent, they can be as coherent as they get for a cinematic universe this big, or this like this and this universe that's been for existing for around 10 years. Let's talk about Thor. It's not very magical. Like for a movie about Norse mythology, it is not that magical. The most magic that happens is in the beginning, with Thor living in Asgard and then going to the Frost Giants planet, and like that's the most. Really, I finally start getting an idea of what I'm doing, and there's a fucking helicopter out there. But okay, so yeah, like I said, the first part of it is really the most magical, and then towards the end as well, that's when it starts being magic still. But like after he gets casted out of Asgard, it's not really, it's not much of a Norse mythology movie. It's just a like this fish out of water story with Thor. He doesn't have his powers. He's still a little cocky. He wants to get his hammer back. He believes he can get his hammer back. He tries to get his hammer back. Hawkeye just like kind of practice his strength training with his bow to like hold it. He's like the whole time just, I'm ready, sir. Just, am I just gonna do this for the whole movie? You mean I'm only here for this part? Okay, that's really all he does in this movie. Just like, I mean, at least Scarlett Johansson had like this part in the movie where she was kind of a lead player in, kind of a lead character in Iron Man 2, but here Hawkeye is just, hey guys, I exist here. I mean, I don't know why I wanted to go for the rifle in this shot, and then just went with my bow. I mean, I know it's kind of a means of tricking the audience, but I'm just gonna do it anyway. I mean, I don't really think I shoot a gun that many times in this cinematic universe, but I'm Hawkeye, and I'm here. Where's my check? Like, that's really what happened with Hawkeye. Dr. Selvig in this movie is actually, like, he's a good character. He's stable-minded. He does, like, kind of like, he believes Thor to an extent sometimes, and other times he's just like, this guy's crazy. Like, what he thinks he's this god or something. Like, come on. Come on, Jane. Think! Jane Foster, what do I think about Jane Foster? I don't want to say she's annoying. I don't hate her. I don't love her either. Not having Natalie Portman in the universe doesn't really, like, affect me as much. No disrespect towards her, but it's just, I mean, she did a decent job. I mean, I didn't hate her. Darcy, can be a little too much at times. Like in this movie, and, well, we'll talk about Thor, The Dark World later on. I'll give my 2 cents on that movie because, not a lot of people talk about it as much as I do, in the sense of how, I mean, I know there's people out there that do talk about the movie like I would probably, but I just want to kind of get my 2 cents on it as well. Yeah, I don't know how many cents I have, but apparently I just even them up all the time. But, yeah, Thor, not very magical, not very, like, amazing for what the source material would allow it to be. Like, they finally realized it later on, but we'll get to that. Captain America. Captain America is a fun movie. And, like I wrote down in my notes, Chris Evans is bae. Chris Evans, even from just this performance, I really enjoy him playing Captain America. He's definitely my favorite part of the universe. I want to be like Chris Evans. I wanna have serum like shot into my veins, and just I want to become Captain America. Like, I'm not that tall of a guy either, so like if that helped, Oh, I mean, I'm not that tall. I'm not that short, but that would be awesome if I could get the same serum to kind of just give me a couple of inches, you know, up here. That's what we